Hi children, welcome back. In the previous video we discussed about periodic table. Now let me revise again in a very short way. Here is the modern periodic table. There are 18 vertical columns, 1 2 3 4, like 18, and 7 horizontal rows called periods. These are the 7, right? As you know, first A group elements are called alkali metals, and second A group elements are called alkali earth metals, and this is the third A group elements called boron family, and fourth A carbon family, fifth A nitrogen family, sixth A oxygen family, and seventh A group elements are called halogens, and the final one, 8th A or 18th group elements are called noble gases, also called as zero group elements. They are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, unknown discovery, right? Down the periodic table, 4F elements starts from cerium to lutetium are called lanthanides. Next 5F elements are starts from thorium to lawrencium are called as actinides, right? You know very well, they belongs to F black elements. Now see here S and P block elements are also called as representative elements. Look at here, these are the S block elements and these are the P block elements. So these two together called as representative elements, and these are the D block elements. D block elements are called transition elements, and finally F block elements are called inner transition elements. You know very well, right? Now in this video you are going to learn an easy trick to find group and period. Easy trick to find group and period. Yeah, here remember this point: differentiating electron nothing but lost shell electron. Differentiating electron nothing but lost shell electron will decide the position of an element in the periodic table. So let us find group and period it belongs to. First point, keep in mind, number of main shells present in the atom will decide which period it belongs. Number of main shells will decide its period. In the latter I'll give you example, you listen first. This is the first point. For example, hydrogen and helium, these are the two atoms, contains only one main shell, that is K. Therefore they belongs to period 1. Every period starts with a new main shell, right? So First period starts with K main shell. You know very well in the lesson structure of atom already you have learnt about shells and the number of electrons present in the each main shell and each subshell also, right? Yeah. Now similarly the elements sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon contains two elements. All contains two main shells. They are K and L. As you know in the K and L shell, therefore they belongs to second period. Now let me explain with an example. For example, take beryllium. Take beryllium atom. The atomic number of beryllium is how much? Yeah, 4. And you know configuration, right? The electronic configuration. Electronic configuration is 1s2 2s2. Yeah, right children? Yeah. Here already I told you differentiating electron will decide the position, right? Here in this you just take last shell belongs to 2. Yes, here the already I told you first point main shell represent the period, right? What is the main shell here? 2. 2 is the main shell, no? So simply beryllium belongs to second period. Got it? Here nothing but you compare this with NLX method also. N is equals to 2. Second main shell. So beryllium belongs to second period. Next, okay, period completed. Let's go to the group. How can we find the group? Second point. Here differentiating electron, nothing but valence electron will decide its group. Let me take another same example, that is beryllium. Atomic number is 4. Electronic configuration 1s2 2s2. Here I already told you differentiating electron or valence shell electron will decide its group. Here this is the it is belongs to main shell, and here this number, nothing but these are the number of electrons in the subshell. Yes, so these are the 2 electrons become valence electrons, right? So how many valence electrons are there? 2 valence electrons are there. So beryllium belongs to second group, right? This n value represent nothing but main shell represent its period. Number of electrons in the valence shell represents its group. Got it? So it is here is only one s orbital, one subshell. Yes, if there is a p subshell, then how we can find? Let us see. For that let me take oxygen. The atomic number you know very well, 6. Configuration 1s2 2s2 2p, sorry, oxygen 8 2p 4. Yeah children, 4 plus 4 8. Here the main shell and n value is same, that's why if it contains p subshell you should consider the last two shells, whatever the last two subshells you can consider to find its group, not period in the sense same 2 2. So you can say oxygen belongs to second period because 2 is the 2 main shell, second main shell. This is the first main shell and second main shell. Main shell represents its period, so oxygen belongs to second period. Then which group it belongs to? Yeah, here is the p subshell entered, no, that's why you should take 2 equal energy, no, that's why you should take these two. So you add here in the s subshell how many electrons are there? 2 electrons are there. Plus in the p subshell how many electrons are there? 4 electrons are there. Total 6 electrons. That is why the oxygen belongs to 6th group or 16th group. Got it? 2 plus 4 6 are 16th group element. Okay, this is the way to find the group and period. So children, try to find a group and period of some 1 to 20 elements. Okay, do this. Here is a table. Try to understand. Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. Atomic numbers are given, electronic configuration, group number 15th or 5th. Okay, 15th or 5th, no problem. Period, second period, because here is only same shell, one main shell, that's why 2 second period. Here, yeah, 3 third period. Here which is highest? 4th, so that's why 4th period. Here 5 5th period. Here 6th period. Okay, yeah, count 2 plus 3 5 or 15th, no problem. 3 plus 2 5 or 15. Last two I told. Here 3 subshells are there, but you should consider last 2 plus 3 5 or 15. Here also 2 plus 3 5 or 15. Here also 2 plus 3 5 or 15. So this is the way to find group and period. Okay, now you can ready to find group and period of any element. Okay, try children. Yeah, next another trick you must remember, number of elements in each period. So you know very well we have 7 periods in the modern periodic table. So if I ask a question, how many elements are there in the 4th period? Can you answer it? Suddenly you can't, but after listening this you can. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, listen. The number of elements in period depend on how electrons are filled into various shells. Okay, yeah, the first period starts with K shell. So K shell contains only one subshell, that is S, right? S, number of maximum number of electrons in S, how many? 2, already we discussed. So in the first shell total 2 elements are there. Okay, second period starts with L main shell. Okay, so as you know, L cell has two subshells, that is S and P. S contains 2, P contains 6. Total 2 plus 6 how much? 8. That's why second period contains 8 elements. Therefore 8 elements are there in the second period. And third period starts with M main shell. Okay, but here third period starts with M main shell. There should be 3s, 3p, 3d. You don't consider this. According to the molar diagram, the electron should not enter into the 3d. Okay, yeah, again we have two subshells, S and P. S contains 2, again P contains 6, total 8. That's why in the third period also we have 8 elements. Fourth period we have in the fourth period we have one s orbital and one p orbital and one d orbital. So s2, p6, d 10, total how many? 18. So fourth period contains 18. Fifth period also 18 electrons with s, p and d. Sixth period and seventh period here includes f orbital, which contains 14. That's why count 18 plus 14, 32. Sixth and seventh period together contains 32 elements. Okay, simply you remember the order: 2 comma 8 comma 8, 18, 18, 32, 32. Okay, this is the order. Got it? Now in the periodic table, by looking you can't say whether which metals are belongs to which elements belongs to metals and non-metals or metalloids. Okay, let me give one idea so that you can identify which elements are belongs to metals and non-metals or metalloids. Okay, listen here. Here is the table. There is a simple trick to identify which are metals or non-metals or metalloids in the periodic table. Yeah, here the elements with 3 or less in the outer shell are considered to be metals. Okay, if there are 5 or more electrons in the outer shell are considered to be non-metals. If there are 4 electrons in the outer shell, yes, you are right, considered to be metalloids. But we may have some exceptions to this. So let me explain with an example what I told. With 3 or less electrons in the outer shell, right? Yeah, first of all, you take any atom. Consider it is a atom. Arrange the electrons. In the first shell there should be 2. Yeah, here assume. Okay, done. Yeah, what is the atom name now, children? Count the electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4. So with 4 electrons, nothing but beryllium, right? This is the atom belongs to beryllium. So how many shells are there? 1, 2 shells are there. Which is the valence shell? Yes, the outermost shell or valence shell. This is called valence shell or outermost shell. So valence shell contains how many electrons? 2 electrons, right? What I told the elements with 3 or less electrons in the outer shell are considered to be metal. So 3 or less, 2 is yes. So beryllium considered to be metal. Understand? Because 2 electrons in their outer shell. Let me take another example. Yeah, 1 2 1 2 3. Yeah, how many electrons? 1 2 3 4 5. 5 in the sense it's boron atom. So whether boron is a metal or non-metal, valence shell contains 3 electrons. So if there are 3 electrons in the outer shell, it is considered to be metal. Obviously, yeah, boron is a metal. Now take another example. Yeah, count the electrons. 1 2 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Total how many electrons? 8 electrons. In the sense oxygen atom. Whether oxygen is a metal or non-metal, yeah, this is the outermost shell. It contains 5 electrons. So 3 or less considered to be metal, 5 or more considered to be non-metal. Here is the 5. So oxygen belongs to non-metal. Yeah, per suppose if there are only 4 electrons in their outermost shell, that is considered to be metalloid. For example, 1 2 3 4. 4 in the sense beryllium. Sorry, don't take 4 electrons, no, total 6 in the sense carbon, right? This atom belongs to carbon because outermost shell contains 4 electrons. So whether carbon is a metal or non-metal, neither metal nor non-metal, because it is a metalloid or semi-metal. Metalloid or semi-metal, called metalloid. So metalloid in the sense which element contains some metallic properties and as well as non-metallic properties. Not completely metal, not completely non-metal. That's why it is a metalloids. But how can we identify? By looking at the periodic table. Yeah, look at now. Here is this blue color indicates metals, and these are metalloids like staircase, and this yellow color represents non-metals. Now easily you can say, hey, here one thing you should observe is block elements and D block elements. These are the D block, these are the S block, and these are F block elements. So S, D and F block elements mostly metals, right? Here these are P block elements. P block elements, so P block contains metals, metalloids and non-metals. Okay, by looking at the periodic table easily you can identify. Understand? This is the simple trick. I hope you understand, children, and again try to write the electronic configuration 1 to 30 elements, and also find group, period. Okay, send me, don't forget this, very helpful to you. Okay children, thank you.